What's up, guys? This is SlickNickGaming, and welcome back to the remake of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Last time on SlickNickGaming Remasters, we did the first two episodes, or not the first two episodes, the first two levels of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now we are going to be doing levels 3 and 4. Each episode has 6 levels, making 36 total levels in story mode. But there are also 6 bonus levels in this game, which we will be covering at the end of the project. And also, I feel like I should add this. This is my second time doing this level, because the first time there was a failed recording. I almost got to the end the first time around, but then I just decided to scrap it because it wasn't a very good take. And this segment, this level not only introduces 2 new characters, but also a new type of character. A new type of character which I like to call gunslingers. You'll see why in a minute. So, we have Queen Amidala and Captain Panaka. They are what I like to call gunslingers. They do not have lightsabers, they have guns. Because they're not Jedi, they can't do a double jump. And they also can't do attacks while jumping. Well, they can attack while jumping, they just won't do a super slam. Like you can if you're a Jedi, if you have a lightsaber. Man, it feels weird playing this game without the music, but I have to because I don't want to get copyright struck. Where is that coming from? So the thing about blasters in this game is that they track automatically. You do not need to aim when you're shooting the gun. You press B to shoot, and you do not need to point to shoot. It just automatically locks onto things. That can be very convenient in a lot of ways, but it can also be very frustrating. Like when you're trying to break something, but it just locks onto something else. And this is cool. I didn't get to comment on this last time. I didn't get to comment on this last time, but this is the first time I've played this game with headphones. I usually play this game with the noise either coming out of the TV or coming out through my stereo. And even then, when I had it in my stereo, I still didn't get as good of a sound as I do now. Now it's like right in my ears, and I can actually hear things that I never heard before when I played this originally. So the more you know. Am I right? So, some more memories that came back to me in between recordings, and also, these kind of came back to me when I was doing the failed recording, is that my career was at a standstill about halfway through this project. I'm pretty sure I had the whole thing recorded, but I didn't upload for a while because I started with my new school, and I was very busy, and I pretty much lost interest in a lot of my hobbies because I was so busy with private school and I was not really in a good state mentally. Because I was going through such big changes, and it definitely took quite a toll on me. So yeah, I'm hearing this game a lot differently now because of these headphones. It's something I didn't really get to talk about in the last recording. What's up here? Oh, more money. Yeah, that's right. I just went this way. I did this level already. Well, I was almost at the end. You may remember, I've talked quite a bit on this channel. In fact, Andrew has been on this channel. He was in one of my very early videos. But he and I did a playthrough of this game years ago. I'm talking years ago, like back in like 2015 or so. And we did this level. We did the entire first episode. And we got to the end of this, and we discovered a really crazy glitch. I'm going to be covering glitches quite a bit in this series. Well, not like a ton of glitches, but there is a crazy glitch at the end of this level. And this game, because it was made in 2007, there are glitches galore in this game. Yes, glitches galore. That sounds like a great title. Actually, that sounds like the title to a horror movie, not gonna lie. Glitches galore. There's more droids. You wanna do an ambush? Oh, almost got... There we go. And we died. Alright, so as I said, I'm probably not going to show it off here, because I want to get this level done. But maybe when I go back and do the bonus episodes for this, I'm pretty sure I will be able to show off that glitch. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try it now. I mean, if I do it, then I would have to do the whole level again. But in the end, I mean, this is about exploring, so I want to show off this glitch. I mean, that is kind of the point of a redo, right? You go back and cover things you didn't get to cover the first time around. And also, just do it with newer quality, newer equipment. Let's head back over this way. And it looks like we found the exit right over there. So, what we're going to want to do here is we're going to jump in and then go as far to the right as we can. Or actually not. We're going to want to jump straight in and not pull off the glitch. That's okay.
Roger, roger. Uh-oh.
There's actually no way you can just jump right back there. You actually, in order to show off that glitch, I'd have to do the whole level again. Alright, there we go. Queen Amidala, Captain Panaka. Okay. What the hell was that? Let's go ahead and go to the next level. One other thing that just came back to me is when I used to do Lego LPs, I used to have a goal where I tried to get to 1,000,000 studs before the end of the project. Or before the end of the adventure. I don't think I'm going to do that again in this remaster, because it actually is quite difficult to pull off. I mean, I could be able to do it in this one, because I did it with Lego Indiana Jones. I got very close. I got to about maybe 600,000 or 700,000. But with Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, that game is twice the size. And now, it's time for the pod race. Yeah, in case you couldn't tell, I love the humor in this game. Look out, boy. That little kid's gonna become Vader. And now it's time for the pod race, which is one of my least favorite levels in the game. Well, it's not so bad in this version, but in the original version, it was awful. But the pod race is not so bad in this version of the game. They definitely made it quite a bit easier in this version. Of course, as soon as I say that, I'm going to die constantly. That's pretty much how it works here. Wow, I already missed a mini-kit. So, you may be wondering what I'm referring to when I mean the original version. The original version of this game was called LEGO Star Wars the Video Game, and that one only had the first 3 episodes. And then there was another game called LEGO Star Wars... Fuck, I missed it again. LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. And that one had episodes 4, 5, and 6. It's actually... Now that I think about it, this level is very easy to 100% if you know what you're doing. At least it's easy to get all the mini-kits. And in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, those 2 games were combined into one. Because, in their mind, a new generation of consoles was coming. The PS3, the Xbox 360, and the Wii. So they wanted to put those 2 games together and make a new game with those 2 games together for a new audience. And we all know how that ended. It became one of the most successful and probably the best-selling of all the LEGO games. Easily one of the most iconic video games of all time. Fuck, I missed it again! God damn it. Okay. Try not to miss any more mini kits. I had somebody tell me once that when I rant, I sound like Proofy-Sure. No. Proofy-Sure is the king of ranting, as far as I'm concerned. He is the king of raging. Alright, that's 6. Oh, there's another mini kit on top of that ramp. I can't get it yet. In the original version, that gate was not there. And in this version, I'm not going to be able to show this off for a while, but in the free play version, in free play mode, you can actually play as any vehicle. And only certain vehicles will open up certain gates. Wow, I already missed 2 more. I would have had 8 there if I had been more careful. So, as you can imagine, you actually had to beat Sebulba in every section of the course. Not just the ending. You had to beat him in every section on the course. Otherwise, you'd have to watch certain sections again. And you'd have to do all those sections again. You'd have to watch the same cutscenes again and again. You have to watch other people's pods get destroyed by Sebulba. Yeah, it was a hot mess. And I will safely say that the pod race is definitely improved in this game. But they did put the original pod race in this game as a bonus level. Finally, I got those other 2 mini-kids. I don't think I can beat him now, though. He's very close to the end. Yep. Wait, do I have to... No, I got the mini-kids. My god, I feel like a little kid again playing these levels. Having to do the pod race. And in case you're wondering, I was actually a lot better at the pod race when I was a kid. When I was a little kid and I did this game. Why am I not going faster? Shouldn't I be going a lot faster than this? Yeah, I can't even see him anymore. I didn't even get to the final sprint! Like, what? Is there a shortcut of some kind? I'm definitely not getting him this time. Especially after going right through those things. Let's stay in the inside. Shit. I've already been hit twice. No! Yeah, now you can see why I hate this level. What happened, man? I used to be so good at this. I don't know what happened. Alright, I can see him. He's at the other end of the tunnel. Just don't run into any walls, whatever you do. Or don't get shot either. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna catch up to him. Oh god. Are you kidding me? There's got to be a shortcut of some kind that I'm completely missing out on. I get the feeling I'm doing this all wrong. Now you may be wondering, Nick, why did you pick LEGO Star Wars, the complete saga as your first game? Well, when I first started a gaming channel, I wanted to pick games that I knew well, that I knew I could complete. And the first game that came to mind was LEGO Star Wars, because I'd played that game a lot until that point. And I'd already beaten the game twice, and I knew pretty much right off the bat that that was the first game I wanted to play. And I'm going to give you the same advice that I've already given to a lot of other up-and-coming YouTubers. Before you create your channel, before you create your username, you've got to decide right away. You got to first decide what kind of content you want to make. And you got to be absolutely sure about that decision. Because if you have no real objective, you're not going to get anywhere. Oh. Okay, after a little bit of thinking off camera, I just realized you don't actually press a button to hit the gas. It's actually you tilt the stick forward. By the stick, I mean the stick on your nunchuck. I really wish I'd known that beforehand. Or else that would have made the pod race a lot easier. Alright, we're actually gaining on him. There he is. What's really funny is that I actually, when I was looking back on my second playthrough of this game, and I said that this was one of my favorite levels. And if you know what you're doing, you can beat it pretty easily. The only difference there was I had no idea what I was doing that time. So now we can buy this engine for $5. That just pretty much sums up the economy now. You work your balls off, you win races, and you only get $5. Anakin's pod. Okay, that was embarrassing. Not gonna lie, that was very embarrassing. That is gonna do it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time. Excuse me. I will see you guys next time. We got 8 mini-kits for the rest of the Phantom Menace. There are 2 levels left in Phantom Menace. And, yeah, that's gonna do it. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching.